Is doing? How you doing? I was at the pool. Hi, Vanessa. I was at the pool today with Sissy, and that's why I look like this.
Kelly, where do you guys go swimming at?
There's a really great pool down here in Plattsmouth. It's called Twin Rivers Water Park. It's awesome.
Nice.
Or if we go with friends, we'll go up into Bellevue. Yeah. The one in Plattsmouth, it's worth the drive. It's so awesome. They have a zero depth entry with slides and splash things. It's good.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna give just one more minute. Hi, Holly. Hi, Noelle. Hi, Heather. I'm writing myself some notes so I don't forget. Turn my phone off. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started because this is going to be recorded and people can watch it on the replay. You guys were here on time, so I'm going to get started. And I'm going to just go into Facebook really quick and tell people we're starting now. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want us to make a master list. Heather, are you on here twice? I see you on here 2 times. Okay, I want us to make a master list of the qualities and the characteristics that we would want in a host. So I'm going to like unmute yourselves and I want us to just brainstorm because I'm going to write them down. What characteristics and qualities would your perfect host have? I'm writing them down.
Someone who asks lots of questions.
Okay, great. What else?
Someone who follows directions well.
Yes, someone who is coachable. I like the one that Karen said. She said someone who has a lot of friends.
Motivated to earn rewards.
Yes. How about somebody who loves the products? Haven't you had those hosts who are hosting because their friend needs a booking and they don't even really use the products or know much about them and it's like they don't get it? What else? I'm writing your ideas down. Keep going. Who is your ideal host? It's got to be more than that.
How about somebody who's already wanting to go green in their home and has already started?
What, Noelle, say that again.
Sorry, someone who has already taken some steps to go green in their home.
Okay. So they're already going green. Even if it's just some baby steps. Yes. Okay, I can't find what I'm looking for here. We have a great list, but I know there's more. I would love my hosts to share the Norwex products or mission just kind of everywhere they go. Hi, Karen. We are just taking a couple minutes to make a master list of what qualities we want our potential hosts to have. I would like my potential hosts to be moms. I think moms are an easy market because we all care about our kids. I would love more teachers so I could have an access to classrooms. Are there certain kind of people that you would like your hosts to be? You can type too if you don't want us to talk. Okay, this list is pretty small. We'll keep working on it. Because I
You
want
put us on the spot, Kelly. That's a lot for us to just drum up all at once.
what? No. As the night goes on, if you think of more, tell me, type them, or message them to me later, because I really would like to present this to the team. Okay, let me see. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna talk about is a old, what's that? Is an old favorite here on Team Summit. And it's something I used to just tell people to read right away. When our team was smaller, we talked about this book all the time. We're talking like back in 2017, this was kind of part of our team culture. And we've gotten away from it a little bit for lots of reasons, but it's time to go back to this book. The book is called Go for No. Raise your hand if you've read it, or give me like a thumbs up if you've read it. Heather? No?
I bought it.
You bought it? Look at this book. You read it in like 15 minutes, girl. All right.
I have it.
What? All right. So there's Go for No, and there is a Go for No. I have it. I'm looking for it. There's a Go for No for network marketers that is actually written in part by Ray Higdon, and I have it signed by Ray. I love it. I gotta find it. Where is it? No. I'll find it. I'll show it to you guys. Anyway, so that's probably the one I would recommend you get. You can really read it in about 10 or 15 minutes, but I want to talk to you guys about this idea of going for no, why it's a thing, and then we're going to do a challenge as a team, and I'm so excited about this challenge because honestly, guys, like I need to get my own butt in gear, and this is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to kind of just briefly talk about what's in this book, and I hope something resonates with you. What is standing between you and success? Well, I know what it is for me. It's the F word. It's fear. Fear is the word that is stopping us. And we're honestly afraid of hearing the word no. And when I sit down to like message or call people, like I'm sometimes just paralyzed by that fear. And I don't even always know exactly what it is I'm afraid of. But I think it's that fear of hearing no. So we're going to turn that fear of rejection into our greatest asset as small business owners. So are you saying no for your customers? And I think we are all guilty of this. And basically, there's a story in the book, and it talks about how this young man is a suit salesman, and this very wealthy gentleman comes in and drops like $1,800 on suits and accessories, and it's the biggest sale that this young man has ever made in his life. And so when the guy leaves, his boss is talking to him, and I'm summarizing, and the young man is like, oh my gosh, his bill was like $1,800, like, wow. And the man said to him, did he ever tell you no? Did he ever stop you from selling to him? And the guy's like, what do you mean? And he's like, you decided that $1,800 was his limit because you stopped asking. Who knows how much he would have spent or purchased if you would have kept making packages and choices and giving him options. Good. Thank you, Karen. And so that really resonated with me. So the young man, because that was the most he had ever sold, felt like that was the cap. And he decided for his customer that his customer was done. Or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was, but maybe he wasn't. So that's a huge lesson. And in what kinds of ways do we say no for the people we meet in our business? And one thing to remember from this point forward is you should never decide when a sale or interaction is over. Your customer should. So think about that. Like, you can talk right now. What are some ways that you say no for somebody before they say no? Just share. Tell me. How do you say no for people you meet? Heather, what's that?
Repeat that question.
How are you saying no for your customers before they might be saying no?
Thinking what they're going to respond in advance.
So maybe you don't ask them to host a party
Yeah.
because you
Right.
think that they're going to say no, right? Or you don't offer them the business opportunity because you think they're going to say no. Or you don't. Yes. Or maybe you don't upsell them or offer them a complimentary item when they're checking out because you think they've already spent $120. They're not going to want to spend another $30 on the descaler. Yes. Okay, good. Ooh, lost my screen. All right. So moving on. Yes, so these are the kinds of no's in your business. So for sales, because we are sales people, that's how we make money. We prejudge who needs our product. We don't follow up after our presentation. We don't even ask for the sale sometimes. We don't ask for referrals. We don't ask why. We don't follow up past the first couple of times. And I know you guys have heard the stat, and I'll throw it up as an image later. But most sales are made on like the 12th follow-up. Not the first, not the second, not the fifth, not the eighth, the 12th follow-up. How many of us are going that far? Forgetting to follow up on previous sales or cancels, upselling. And then for recruiting, we are prejudging our prospects. We're forgetting to follow up. We don't have a way to track how we're following up. We're not getting a list. We're afraid to talk to our chicken list. And you all have somebody on your chicken list that you think, wow, they would be great at this, but you don't ask them for X, Y, or Z reasons. Anyway, so you see where I'm going with that. And the fear of rejection is your single greatest reason why people don't have success in this type of a business. But by actually seeking out and inviting rejection, you can overcome this fear in stages, and we're going to do it together over the next 10 days. So the stages of getting over rejection are, the first is you get rejected and it bothers you. And I would think most of us are there. The second stage is you get rejection and it doesn't bother you. And then the third stage is you get it and you turn it to your advantage. And so that's where we want to go. Let's see. So I don't want to go like too deep into this book, but I just want you guys to know that following up is a way that you can increase your results by 80% or by times 80. Because people don't follow up because they have a fear of being rejected. And so one thing that Carmel has taught me recently is when you're talking to somebody and they tell you no, and this is going to be part of our challenge, the follow-up question should be, is that a no forever? Or is that just a no for now? And that really, because once we hear that no, we kind of write those people off forever. But if they say to you, it's just a no for now, then you can say, well, can I follow up with you next quarter? Or the next time there's a MOP month? Or the next, time there's a sale or a new catalog? Or, you find that time frame that works for them. And then 9 out of 10 times they're going to say, yeah, that would be fine. And then they've given you permission to contact them. So then when you do follow up with them, you can say, hey, I'm following up with you because the last time we talked, and you go from there. And if you're chatting, I'm missing it. Yes, Karen, you were the only one. Noelle said hello. Okay, moving on. So 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. So you meet somebody at a party, at a vendor event, anywhere really, and almost half of salespeople never even follow up with those people. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and then stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. So what percentage are you following up, or are you following in? And then here's that last stat I was referring to. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. So here's how you break that down. For each person that you have as a customer, or you've asked about the business opportunity, commit to getting 5 to 12 no's per person. They need to tell you no 5 to 12 times, or like not, it's not right now, it's, you know, not forever. 5 to 12 per person. Can you imagine if we did that? So 92% of all salespeople give up without hearing a 5th no from a customer, but research shows that 60% of all customers will say no 4 times before finally saying yes. Crazy. We all love to hear yes, it's positive. When we hear no, we think it's negative and draining, but no can be empowering. How many of you have a child? Like, you have children? How many of your children, or like you've worked in Sunday school or summer camp or something, and a child comes up to you and says, "Can I have ice cream?" And you say no. And they say, "But I really want ice cream." And you say no. And this goes back and forth 5, 10, 1,000 times, right? Like, "Please, I want ice cream." No. These children are laughing at us because they consider it a challenge. Like, they wear us down. And how many of you as parents are like, "Fine, have the ice cream, just leave me alone"? Like, you know, and sometimes with my own kids, I'm like, you know what? I like that persistence, or, you know, I can respect that argument, and I will actually give them the thing I originally told them no, because I'm like, maybe I said no too quickly. Maybe there's more to this than what I originally thought. So, and the kids don't take it personally. They don't care if you say no. They're coming back to ask again. Too much sometimes. All right, so let me see. I'm just trying to go through my notes here. All right, so if you are thinking of a gold mine, you have to sift through the dirt, which is the no's, to find the gold. The people that sift through the most dirt find the most gold. And I love this quote at the beginning of the book, and it's by Joe Malarkey. And he says, "If you're not succeeding fast enough, you're not failing fast enough, and you can't have one without the other. So if you are going to avoid one, you are going to avoid both." I feel like I need to write that on the inside of my eyelids so I see it all the time. Let's see. We already talked about that. Okay, so we're running low on time. Okay, so going for no, basically the idea of this book is, if you want to grow and have success, then you should be actively seeking out people to tell you no. And Ray Higdon, part of his success story in the very beginning is that he was committed to getting 20 no's every single day. Now, most people don't work to that capacity. And he's like, there were days where I didn't have like that many people in my phone to call. So I was like calling the dry cleaner and talking to the guy at the Burger King drive-thru. Like, I had to find 20 people a day. Now, as we go through, I haven't told you the challenge, but as we go through the challenge, when we're looking for this number of no's, well, okay, we'll talk about that. I think the book addresses that too. But when we go through this challenge of no's, you know, say your goal is 20 no's a day, you might have to ask 30 people to get to 20 no's, because maybe 10 of them will say yes, or maybe 3 of them will say yes. And so Heather says, "I feel like asking 5 to 12 times for the same thing from one person after hearing no is nagging." What do you guys, does anybody want to take a stab at that? Does anybody have a thought about that? If you do, unmute yourself and jump right in.
I definitely struggle with that sometimes too. But there are definitely times where I give myself relief and I just say, you know, if they don't want me to ask anymore, then they can just, you know, ask to be removed from my list. You know, it's not like you're asking 5 times in a day, you know, once in a while over so much time. It's not like you're asking them every single day. So I think that, and that was kind of something similar to what I posted in the group today. You know, I feel like sometimes that definitely holds me back from just asking. You don't know the answer is no if you don't ask.
Absolutely. And I think it goes back to having a tracking system. And Belinda Ellsworth, I think her Power Hour is the best I have found. But keeping track. And Ray talks about having like a 4-day follow-up, and then he puts people into a 30-day cycle. And Ray says that he follows up with people until they die or they're just rude to him.
I guess it's the asking if it's no forever or no for now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people are a no for now. And I think it's also just having that relationship in the interim time. So if you're asking somebody to host and it's a no, and you're going to ask them again and say 6 weeks, well, in that 6-week time, are you commenting on their Facebook page? Are you checking in with them, seeing how they're doing? You know, how are you kind of forging a relationship in the meantime, maybe? So you're not just that person that they're like, oh, here she comes again. Okay, so then back to going for no. So by going for no, and here,
can I add something?
oh yeah,
So I had a host who hosted a party, and she got a free mop system this last month, and she's the one who's at my church, and I think I invited her to my launch party 2.5 years ago, and she's probably been invited to a dozen parties since then and showed no interest. I kind of had written her off as like she just decided she was too cheap for Norwex or something. But finally, she came to someone's Facebook party and said, okay, I need to see this in person. And so I did a party with her because of that. I didn't ask her 12 times to host a party, but that she did need that many exposures.
right.
And she wouldn't have gotten that many exposures if I hadn't been asking the people around her in her life, who ended up being the reason that she decided to go for it in the end. So kind of a roundabout similar story.
Yeah, and I think we write people off too fast. And I know if you've been in this business more than just, 6 months, I have run into people who I had met at a party, and later they were a consultant or they had been a host. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why didn't you join or host with me? And it's because I'm the one that didn't follow up and let them slip through my, fingers because I wrote them off because I heard no too many times from them. So by hearing the word no over and over again, it loses its power over you. And if you are hearing the word no, it means you're doing the right things because you're out there talking to people. And that's the key to success. Thinking about it doesn't make it happen. You have to talk to the humans to have a business. And no doesn't always mean no. It can mean not right now. And you just have to be able to start to recognize when it really does mean no. So you do move on. Because I think there are times where it really is a no and it's time to move on so you don't create a bad vibes or bad feelings. But I think we really need to have this goal of a target number of no's each week or each month. Because if you don't, I don't think we're going to impact as many people as we think we are. And then when we're in that zone and that mindset, we overcome that roller coaster we feel in building our business. Because we're just like, we're committed. Like every month I'm going to hear 50 no's or however many like you can fit into your life. So the book says, if you're not rejected at least 3 times a week, you're not really trying. So we're going to have a go for no contest. Like, could you see this coming? The writing is on the wall. I'm going to post this in the group probably tomorrow. I have a party tonight. I'm going to have to get going here in about 2 minutes. But here it is. The contest is 100 no's in the next 10 days. This means like you there might be some of us who go through this and get to 100 no's and have 0 yeses. That might happen, like 0 yeses. I highly doubt that will happen though. And I'm going to challenge you to try to do as many as phone calls as you can. So I'm going to post kind of the rules and the verbiage, but I want you like taking a picture of this sheet with your face in it when it's all filled in. So over the next 10 days, that's 10 no's a day. Can you commit to 10 no's a day? And if you're going to have a busy day, then do 20 no's that day and none the next day. So are you guys excited to do this with me? Who is going to commit to doing 100 no's? Your business isn't going to suffer for it. Like it's going to do better for it. Okay. Vanessa's in. Heather, are you in? Tom, are you in? 100 no's? Yes. Noelle?
Yes, I'm in.
Awesome. So we're going to go for 100 no's. And I'm going to, like I said, I'll post some verbiage for you, kind of the ground rules. And I'm going to have to like see what good prizes I have lying around here because this is a big commitment. But after you're done, your business is going to look totally different. I promise. Okay. So I'm going to go, if you guys want to chat, go back to a Facebook group. But I've got a party in 5 minutes and I double booked myself tonight. So love you guys so much. Bye everybody. Thanks for coming.